I want to welcome you guys to Midnight Marauders. This is our premiere week. I go by the name of TV Tef. I want you guys to follow us on Midnight Marauders TV on Instagram and YouTube.
Why don't you like, subscribe, and comment on those outlets as well. I'm your boy Rico. For them things, Bandz.
It's the ninja that you love to hate, Kiongozi.
And we are
Midnight Marauders. Once again, on our search to find the greatest rap album of all times, we are reviewing a classic today. This is by an artist by the name of Kid Cudi. His first true LP, Man on the Moon. Opening comment.
Miss Cudi, my man, Miss Cudi. Well, Kid Cudi is a person I'm pretty familiar with. I don't know him personally, but when I heard his music for the first time, I heard Day and Night first. Wasn't my favorite song on there, but I did love the song, but it wasn't my favorite song. My favorite song on this album was Alive at the end, because it sounded like some type of video game, some type of Sonic. I played a lot of those video games growing up, and he was very authentic. Like, when I first just heard his album, it just sounded authentic, like he meant it. It came from his heart.
Cuddler. Yeah, Day and Night, man. It was a good piece of candy. You know, like, I heard it on the radio. And like, what is, you know what I'm saying? What is this? Who is this? And then, as you heard it over and over, Day and Night, The Lonely Loner, like, it's kind of dope, different but dope. And listen to the album, love it.
My opening thoughts on this was, I automatically assumed I would not like Kid Cudi at first view. He shattered that quick, and I was wrong. So with that being said, let's get into the score. We're going to get into our first category, which is production. So for production, I gave this album a 9. I mean, firstly, you got Kanye. That make a lot of it easier. And not only that, I truly believe the machine believed in him. And they was there with it. So I gave it a 9.
He ain't lying. I gave him a 9 too. Hey man, it is what it is. Sometimes he had about 7 singles on this damn album. I mean, whatever.
I gave it a 9 as well. Good to the ears. Good to the ears, originality.
Let's get to our next category, which is originality. And just to be funny, if you look at the image I put for originality, one of those people is Kid Cudi.
That's that guy.
I mean, damn. Like, but the dude was really like not only in his own lane.
All the way.
He drove on the shoulder, and Lil Uzi Vert and them just start following him. Like everybody, Wiz Khalifa. Like everybody was like, "This, where you going?"
That's our lane.
Like why are we riding in this lane with everybody else that's all congested? And Kid Cudi went on the fucking shoulder. Yes, originality, I gave this man a fucking 10. Without a doubt.
I didn't give him a 10. I gave him a 9. I'm from Cleveland as well. And I know that he had a huge Bone influence, which is cool, but he still got a 9. He actually was one of the first newer artists of the 2000s that made being corny or whatever, like a perceived corny dude. You know, he was cool. He was comfortable in his own skin, so that's why he got a 9.
I gave him a 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, he paved the way. We gotta, you know, so you gotta thank him for everybody else that's doing their thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Young Thug, everybody. I gave him a 10.
My next category I have is personality. Personality, I gave him a 10. I mean, he's a character. I mean, he's a loaded character. He's funny. He is exuding with personality.
Yep. I don't mess with Kanye West now. You know, that's like, you know, because of all his antics and shit. But he knew what he was doing when I'm even gonna say he discovered Kid Cudi because he was in the mix.
He's already had it.
But he was right. you know, this dude knew what he was doing. He knew exactly how he wanted to his personality to come out in this song, in his music, and he accomplished it 100%.
You gave him a what?
Gave him a 10.
Rico?
10 this way, most definitely. With all, you know what I'm saying, with all y'all said, pretty much hit it on the nose.
Lyricism. I gave him a 6. He didn't use a lot of things that you would consider writing tools to tell his stories.
Well, I on the contrary, I believe he. You know how you can feel somebody? Sometimes the energy behind it does it. He was straightforward, straight to the point, but he was witty too. Like the wittiness of a lot of the writings that he had in here was like simple as. Yeah, it was a simple song, but he wrote it like that on purpose. But he was dissing you, but not dissing you. It was just, I think it was dope. I think what he did was pretty cool. I gave him a 7.
Okay.
Same here. 7. Known more for harmonizing as opposed to lyricism. So the harmonizer is on point though. Like
The hums.
Yeah.
That's what he called them, the hums.
The hums. I
On
like
point.
that.
They make you numb
What
with
was
the
that?
hums.
What was that? That snap.
I don't know.
Hey man,
Our next category, let's see.
edit that out.
For our next category, we got what? Sound quality.
He gonna get me. It's
Um,
coming, I know it.
Sound quality, I gave this album an 8. I probably could have gave it more. The machine was with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, you had the common parts and the part with Kanye being behind it. The sound quality wasn't gonna be lacking much. I've heard better. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how much of this stuff he did, that came from the plain Pat era that led to this. But the sound quality, I gave it an 8.
I'm giving it a 7. For the most part, some of the cuts were like on the Cudi mixtape. I heard, you know what I'm saying? I heard and just brought it over to the album. I was expecting a little bit more, but it was
a
the
solid
same.
number. 7 still solid.
Yeah, it was
I
the same.
gave him a 9 in sound quality because as I listened to it, as I revisited and I listened to it, this is where production did get to that level where everything sound pretty good, no distortion, none of that shit. And I didn't hear too many drop-offs where highs was high or, your lows was not heard or too high. Like, I think they mixed this really well. Like, I think it sound good to the ears. We rolling with it. It didn't sound bad at all. I mean, I understand what y'all gave it, but you guys are shysters.
Next category we got is song construction. Song construction, I gave this a 10. I don't believe it had any drop-offs in regards to song construction. It had all that pop shit. Everything a pop record would have. You know what I mean? It's damn near felt like Dr. Dre came. You know what I mean? And said, okay, we're going to stop it here. We're going to add a bridge here. Right.
I gave it a 10.
Had something to do with it.
Too. I gave it a 10.
10 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Relatability. By far, this is definitely probably one of his weaker categories. A lot of people are not going to relate to his story. But you know one thing I'm going to add in here. This is a caveat. I gave it a 7, and I'm going to tell you why. It takes a special person to make you relate to a story that you don't understand. Like, man, people said I was a loser. People said oh, yeah, y'all going to gargle my mail now. You know what I mean?
Gargle
and he
my
meant
mail.
it, and that's what he said. All right.
See what I mean by
it was
being witty?
cool.
Gargle my mail.
Okay.
I gave him a 6 for people, for men in general, and then, for everyone else, you rate it how you rate it. As a leader, though, I rated it a much higher number. I'll leave
Which
it.
one
I
you
gave
got?
it an 8 for as personal, but for everyone else, I gave it a 6. Like for the masses, it is hard being like a person that stand out on the corny side though. Like I can't relate to that, but I mean viewers may say otherwise. But I don't give a fuck what y'all say.
I give it a 7. He got his point across, man. And if he tapped, you know what I'm saying, like the spark part of it, you know what I'm saying, your brain and tapped in, and reached you, he did a good job.
Emotion. For emotion, I gave Kid Cudi an 8. I could have went higher, actually. I mean, he really tapped into his personal thoughts. I mean, he had songs on there where it was party. He had the songs on there where it was like, man, listen to, let me tell y'all this story. Let me tell y'all how fucked up I had it. And he in the same story, he telling you I'm a kid that grew up in fucking Shaker.
Which is a suburb.
Which is a suburb.
Yeah.
But he like, dude, I felt like didn't nobody black people related to me. He said, I'm making rap music and I ain't talking about trapping and my music sound different and people mad at me because it don't sound like they shit.
Soundtrack to my life, number 2, right off the jump. He let you know who he was. I give it an 8. You know what I'm saying? The emotion was there. You know, you go down, higher. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't smoke weed. Good weed song, and he brought you to that part where, damn, if I smoke weed,
I felt like
I'll be cooling.
weed
I'll be
when
cooling
I
just like
heard
him.
Shout
You know
out
what I'm
to
saying?
Kid Cudi and my man
Chip
the Ripper,
Chip.
King Chip.
Chip the Ripper, King Chip. Yeah, that was dope. But yeah, he's an emo god as well. He's an emo god. He's there. He's an emo god too. You know, we gonna keep it all the way 100. He was very emotional, but in a good way, not in a, you know. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Where we at,
he
man?
had I'm gonna kill myself moments, and
He did. We not gonna lie. We can't.
You know, he did, but it's okay. He didn't.
No,
do it.
nigga, don't do it.
Don't do it, brother.
Where we at? What's our
Don't
next
do it.
category, man? We get
But I
through
fucks
this.
with him.
Yeah, that's Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Where we at?
Hit factor.
For hit factor, I gave Man on the Moon an 8. 8 is a high score. Come on, don't look at me like that.
He had 7 singles.
But yes, he did.
It was awesome.
And once again, hit
What about
factor.
7 singles?
I always tell you, hit factor doesn't always mean radio success. Even though he was banging on the radio. I lived in the UK when this album
Fuck
came
that,
out,
Joe.
and he had it.
It did change up.
But TV.
Definitely did change up.
Rico.
As far as,
What you gave it, a 7?
I gave it an 8.
I gave it
bro.
an 8.
Oh, 8.
That's high as fuck.
Fuck that. I'm giving it.
I gave it a 9.
Giving it a 9 too, Rico.
I gave it a 9.
Go ahead, I'll let y'all
Yeah.
have y'all little
Yeah, I
LeBron
gave it a
James
9.
4 horsemen moment.
Whatever.
I gave it a 9.
And I'm a homer. I
Okay.
can root for
Ain't got nothing
him.
to do with that, but I gave
Got
it a
something to
9,
do
man.
with me.
Album construction. So for album construction, I gave Man on the Moon a 9. Once again, it had that Kanye, Dr. Dre type of feel, where it sounded like they was like, this is what this album needs. They picked and choose what they was gonna use, and I'm sure he had so much material, and they was able to construct the album with every kind of feeling. Rico.
I gave it a 9 as well. Put together, man, but then like you said, every song like change like every day it'll be a different song. That man, I forgot Cudi's on.
Oh yeah,
Man.
nasty.
Come on,
nasty.
man. I was listening to
My daughter was in the Kid Cudi zone. She said that all the time.
Goodness, man.
Being a homer again, I gave it a 10 because, you know, when an album is put together from front to back, and it's a whole story being told, like
Like a Kendrick type.
like Kendrick's
Right.
or Midnight Marauders,
Mm-hmm.
or you know any of the other highly college dropout graduation, they put together in a manner where it just flows all the way through. I'm sorry for using all these Kanye West produced
music.
albums, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean the great producers they construct
the way
albums.
that this album flowed all the way through, and it was just a whole story.
Okay.
That's a 10 for me.
Okay. On our hunt to find the greatest rap album of all times, all classic albums will have this bonus category, cultural impact. And for cultural impact, I gave Man on the Moon, I gave it an 8. I could have went 9, but I probably could have went 10.
Man, I gave it a 10. Like you said, it started with Cudi, one of the hottest rappers. Travis Scott idolizes him. You know what I'm saying? You can see his music is similar to that. I gave it a 10.
In the great words of my East Coast friends, you ninjas is ill. I gave him a 6 because there's a bunch of people that just couldn't get down with this, especially cats that's in the streets, they ain't with it. They ain't even gonna listen to this cat.
Our closing comments on the album, brother.
Love the album, and again, I think Kid Cudi gave us his best music. He may give us some more good music. Like I think he'll continue to contribute. But as far as like, you know, he actually gave us his life story
Yeah,
that he wrote his whole life.
the weirdo rapper that put a stamp on the game as far as musically, production, and artists, like them whole three facets. He put a stamp and made an outlet for that, a different scenery.
Once again, we are the Midnight Marauders. We want to thank you guys for watching. Follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Midnight Marauders TV.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
And mash the like buttons, please.
We are the Midnight Marauders.